You're listening to the RSL Random Fan Podcast, the podcast for Real Salt Lake fans of every age and level of soccer knowledge and experience, even for those who have never played the game. Your hosts are lead instigator and Real Salt Lake fan from the beginning, Brandt Goebel, Major League Soccer OG and national team lover Tyler Thomas, and the kid who keeps them all in line and the only one with any fashion sense whatsoever, Brennan Goebel. On the podcast, they share their random thoughts after every Real Salt Lake match, win or lose. Besides team and game commentary, they work to bring you the highest quality Real Salt Lake and soccer community content. Content that includes interviews with Real Salt Lake insiders, current and former players, and random fans just like you. They also talk soccer from around the world, from the U.S. men's national team to little clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal, and my personal favorite, Tottenham, and the behemoth that is Crawleytown FC. Enjoy this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
All right. It's another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
He's your host, Brandt Goebel.
Brandt Goebel.
We're
I
the
was thinking
co-hosts.
a million things, trying to bring us into this latest episode. And you are.
I'm Brennan.
And you are.
Tyler.
And we're all very excited. Have you gotten over the game?
No, it's
No.
still ringing in my ears. It's amazing.
The Rocky Mountain Cup is back.
It's amazing.
It's finally a cup.
It's finally a friggin' derby.
Yeah. I'm excited about this.
Did I say it right, Brandt? I mean,
Derby.
I'm
It's
not
Derby.
It's
Yeah,
Derby.
Derby,
It's Derby.
like Derby County.
Yeah. And I don't know how you say it. How do you say it in Spanish? What would they call it in Spanish?
Un Darbio? I don't know.
Derbio.
Derbio. So, yeah.
Un Julio.
Exciting night on Saturday for all involved.
An exciting ending.
Terrible
rough start.
Now, the vibe at the beginning was a little, how do we say, let down?
Yeah. Why don't we
Giving away.
Let's do the lineup.
Let's do the lineup. Which one is the lineup?
McMath. That's the one that
This
says
one?
McMath.
Okay,
on it.
sorry. On the top right, it says Monday, May 21st, so I'm confused. All right, so we got our boy McMath in the goal that is the goal. Then we have Brody, Glad, Vera, and Catranis on our back line. Followed up with Anelli and Ojeda in that center defensive mid role. Gomez, Crooks, and Luna, and then Chicho at the forefront. Side note is the bench, which is Beavers, Oviedo, Ching, Julio, our new boy Quinton, Jacqueson, who has come back, Barajas, and Palacio.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good starting 11.
And, freaking awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing so well at this stage. Remember at the first of the season when we saw the first 4 games, we were like, and now we're however many games in, 14 or something.
Yeah,
10.
I'm afraid to jump on the bandwagon of positivity, of over-the-top positivity, because the second I do that,
Yeah, you get let down.
wheels come off.
We lose. Yeah.
So I don't want to be
So
responsible for that, but I am starting to see that, hey, there is something here.
Yeah, and I love how our worst loss of the season doesn't even count in the standings. Isn't that great?
¿Por qué?
Yeah, let's just
New
avoid
Mexico.
New
Oh,
Mexico.
yeah.
We're not
As
going
long
back.
as we avoid New Mexico, we'll be fine in MLS.
Well, that's not even our starting 11, so I mean, yeah, throw that to
Right?
the
Yeah, I
side.
know.
Yeah.
It was the A team.
Isn't that great?
So our Colorado comes in. They beat us once before already at home.
On March 9th.
2-0, which was
2-1.
Was it 2-1?
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that close, really, was it? I mean, they kind of dominated us, if I remember right. It was really frustrating.
I think they scored, then we scored, then they scored, and that was it. Yeah. But in this game, it felt different. Even when we were down, it still felt like we were gonna get back.
We weren't like our typical couple years ago when we see an early goal that didn't go our way. We were automatically like, this game is over.
The Freddie era. That's how I felt when Freddie was coaching.
Yeah.
As soon as we
That
gave up a
guy.
goal, game was over.
Yeah, no
And-
cohesion, no morale.
Yeah,
Just
and
fall apart.
This is totally different. Maybe Pablo really is this maestro when it comes to creating culture, team mentality, bringing in the universe. I think the universe has done amazing things for us this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was actually be totally honest, I was predicting. Are you okay?
You gotta let your hair breathe.
Yeah, the head was heating up. I couldn't feel my own brain, so I'm back, and he's back. All
I
right.
predict.
Pablo. Yes, Pablo.
I predicted a 4-0 RSL victory.
Oh,
I thought that they would come out and just be raring to go and put a beat down on Colorado from start to finish. And, well, I think they waited.
well, I told my daughter, I said, quit cheering for Cole Bassett because he's good looking. If you want to cheer for him because he's a soccer player, that you like his style of play, fine. But don't just cheer for him because he's a good looking kid. And then he scored in the 4th minute. And I was like,
so many
how
fans.
dare you?
That's like how everybody does it.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't that brutal?
That's how I do it.
Yeah,
you know?
just whoever's the best looking.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
That's how you do it with when you cheer for beach volleyball players.
Oh, I don't cheer for that. Are you kidding me? It's so boring.
That's so boring. It's the worst sport
I need more
ever.
action. They just look like they're struggling the whole time.
They're
you know? Like,
standing there like they can't run on the surface they're playing on. It's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
it's strange. Anyway, but
So-
you want to take us through that
yeah,
4th
so
minute
let's,
goal?
let's do this. Let's do the breakdown here. We're seeing McMath do that sweeper keeper, slightly sweeper keeper role.
Yeah.
Playing,
Which I like.
yeah, it allows Katranis to be farther up. We still have essentially 3 guys or 2 guys. And one thing we just did not see coming was some lackluster passing that wasn't very definitive in the correct direction. McMath passes it out to the side. They get it to Brody on the right side. Brody tries to take an inward pass instead of a negative pass or a pass on the side.
Ojeda.
Or to Crooks, who was waiting for it.
Or
Yeah,
Crooks,
absolutely. Yeah,
who
Crooks. He was over there with his pie and a beer, just waiting for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't put his foot on it. Got dispossessed real quick, and they had a smart goal where McMath was nowhere near, and that's the negative side of the sweeper keeper. But if you're playing that role, the team should know that role and how important those passes in the backfield need to be.
Yeah, and it was weird because Brody hit it right between Ojeda and Crooks.
Yeah.
And looks like Cole Bassett was waiting on that pass.
Oh yeah.
He just jumped right in, took one touch, and then bam.
Well, I think if you're a opposing team, what are you looking for? You're looking for the weaknesses, and right off the bat, Colorado knew they did not go Katranis way. They
Nope.
went Brody way heavy, like
Yep.
2 to 3 guys in that corner every single time.
And it worked for a bit.
It did, yeah. And also, LA did that to us all throughout the year. Every time we get exposed there, it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right off the bat, within the 5th minute, we're already down 1-0.
And you guys were there. I wasn't. I had something else that I didn't want to do, but I did. But I had a lot of fun.
Okay.
But anyway, you guys were in the stadium, so I did not have the same experience. Just pointing out, just letting people know. All right.
All right, did we get through that segment yet? Are we to the next part?
I could have finished if you guys wanted me to, but
We're waiting.
the question, I was just telling people I wasn't there, so I didn't get experience the in game.
Okay.
What it was like to be in the stands in this game, which supposedly is probably one of the best games RSL has played, the best experience that fans have had in years. It felt like the ride of old. That's what I was trying to get to and letting you know that I wasn't there.
It was a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
You were on the roller coaster, and instead of it, going up at the first, it like started down. It's the weirdest roller coaster ever. Like you just went into this deep dark pit, and it was hard to get out. Honestly,
Well, as
it was a little rough.
as a
especially
random
after the
fan right
second
now,
one.
as a random fan of RSL right now,
Uh-huh.
you see the standings that we're in the first place standings, where we have a chance to mess it up. Which, as a pessimist, we're thinking that that's a possibility. But as an optimist, we're thinking, holy cow, this is the best start or the best season so far in an incredibly long time. And then just to see it snuffed out real quick within 5 minutes, that opportunity is essentially has the possibility of being gone.
Yeah,
That was the most deflating atmosphere you could feel. The moment that goal went in there, it was just like, wow. But what was really cool was watching the heads of all the RSL players. None of them put their head down. Everyone just seemed like, okay, now we got to go to work. Like it was a totally professional team out there.
Isn't that interesting? Like after the whole, I mean, a lot going on. First of all, we've played 14 matches so far, right? And 8 wins. And I think a lot of that is mentality. When you go down 2 goals in what was the second goal?
Second goal was in the 19th minute. I wasn't there, but I got it written down.
Why do you keep bringing it up?
If you would have just said it a little bit faster, it'd be totally fine. You're like,
I mean,
well, one thing I wanted to talk about was the atmosphere. I wasn't there.
Place.
You know what I mean? Like you could have let us in there.
We'll go back. We'll edit that all out.
Okay, we'll edit that
okay.
out.
Oh, right. We'll tease you about it the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So, the second goal. So it looked like, okay, they gave up the first one. We're like, okay, Brody just mishit it. He had a bad touch. He doesn't do that very often. He doesn't just straight kick it to the other team. And so, we're thinking we've had a couple run-ins on goal. We've had a few half chances and a few, kicks at the goal and few things going. Katranis has been lobbing a few balls in there, and Nelly seems to be working the middle. Maybe we got this, right?
Maybe we got this.
Right? And then...
But yeah, then once again we get dispossessed again. They come up through Brody's side. They make a good move. Brody tries to play defender again, cutting into the box and intercepts the pass, but that intercepting pass just connects it to homeboy who scores the goal.
Yeah, and if you've ever played defense, you've done this move before. The ball's coming through and you think you're going to just, soft touch it, and it just hits off you much harder than you ever expected. It happens. I mean, it happens in MLS. It happens at youth level. It happens in high school ball. Happens when you're playing on the old drainage pond. Like, it happens, right? Mm-hmm. The ball hits you and you didn't expect it to, and it bounces out a lot harder than you expected. But for those two to happen back-to-back, Brody playing that ball to Bassett, and then that, I just started hearing a lot of people complain and whine about Brody. Like, why is he on the field? Why is he? And to be fair, that finish from Navajo was not nothing.
No, that was pretty.
That fade with his whole body and then to flick it back with the other side. I mean,
flick it over McMath like
right? That was a sweet finish. I mean, I had to admit that was a pretty cool finish, even though I hate the Rapids. And Cole Bassett scored the first one. That was kind of a cool goal too. So we're down 2, but I'm like, that sucked. But we're still playing well.
So we're down 2 on the 2 goals. Do you blame McMath?
No, on either one.
No, I don't blame McMath for anything in this game.
No, he actually had 2 saves that kept us in this game, which we'll get to.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I thought he's playing, like on the sweeper keeper, the first goal, he's playing where he's been asked to play.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be back. He's supposed to be up, so you have an outlet. And he didn't know. Well, I guess he should assume Brody's going to turn it over. And then on the second one, I don't know if he could have come out a little more convincingly, but he didn't want to. If he comes out standing up, he gets shot through the 5-hole or he gets left or right, and I don't think he was expecting to have that little flip up and over him. So I wasn't really – I've seen others that have been harsh on McMath or harsher, and I just don't think either one of those goals can be pinned on him. Maybe he gets lucky and makes a big save and we're not worried about it, but it just wasn't his fault.
No.
And I think the first one's totally on Brody. Second one, I think Brody had a lot to do with it. If he has a little bit of touch on that pass coming through, he got there to defend, and he was just unlucky. Mm-hmm. So I can see where people might be a little hard on Brody, but when you look at this lineup, we've talked about it all season, as it's gelled and come together, where's the weak spot?
Yeah, it's that right back position at the moment.
Right, yep. So
yeah, and it's too bad Bodie's hurt because I thought he was holding down that position way better than Brody has been. You know, and I get it. He's fairly inexperienced, but so's Gomez. Gomez makes silly mistakes all game long, but he makes them in the final third, so nobody cares as much.
Less experience,
because
but then
then
also let's talk about talent here.
But well, yeah.
So
fair.
So where's
fair point?
There's a teeter-totter here.
Correct.
And he was playing in Colombia.
And
maybe
Brody,
that's a little different.
Brody, I think, has better defensive skill than Gomez for sure, and that's why I think he's playing right back. Well, was till he got injured. May he rest in peace. We'll never see him again. Just like Krylock's never going to score again.
Oh, sad.
We can talk about that. I've been
he still hasn't scored. It's been
he hasn't been in the last couple of games. He hasn't even made the 18.
I mean, we called it, but good luck, Krylock.
But Pablo has
Vancouver.
Pablo has stressed that that he wants them to make mistakes going forward.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. They want
in the final third.
So, making mistakes in the back, you're exposing yourself, and that's the risk that Pablo was willing to take.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out for us this game to start anyway.
Yeah, and so we're 20 minutes in and we're down 2-0.
So since I wasn't there, how did it feel in the stands? Did I say that fast enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
How was
just
that?
deliver the information so it translates a little bit better.
Come on, let's go.
Stupid Sam Vine.
Let's go.
Stupid Sam Vine got in there.
You're dragging us down. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
Quick,
move it over there, would you, brother?
Sorry. So the mood was. It's funny. It's kind of like the Mormon religion. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
Everybody had faith.
Oh, okay.
Everyone.
I thought it was George Michael.
So right after the goal, everybody was a little deflated, right? But seeing how aggressive they were with the ball once again, transitioning forward, they were honestly getting pretty aggressive. It seemed to be that everybody had faith. Everybody was just kind of like, let's wait and see how this turns out. Nobody was really booing. I mean, there was a couple times with the ref that they did shout, "Ref, you suck." There was a couple calls that in that first half
were a little ticky-tacky.
And those are always hard because you're not sure. Like, if he calls it, then it goes one way, call it the other way. So,
but I think he did a great job overall. I mean, obviously, the game ended up nicely for us. And you might not have thought that otherwise. But
you might not have. I would have thought the exact same. I would have been like, yeah, whatever.
Agreed. But then, I think this play, to me, it was just great. And it was the ball comes to... Somebody whipped it in, right? And then... Oh, yeah. It was...
he hit it with the strike.
Oh, no. Before that, I meant Crooks. Crooks went down the right? And then he whipped it back across... And Luna thought it was to him. Maybe it was deflected. And then my boy, number 6, Brian Ojeda, he takes this touch, like poked it up in the air, and then he stepped and volleyed with his off foot, right? And then Zach Steffen did not see it coming that fast. This is kind of like what Brody did with the first one. Bam! Ojeda smashes it. Zach Steffen can't control it. And so in comes Gomez, who uses his right foot to kind of go left and try to go past him. And Zach Steffen gets a hand on the ball. So he made 2 saves on that play. He blocked the initial shot, then he blocked Gomez. But then Chicho was right there to just smash it into the roof. Mm-hmm. And man, the stadium was nuts at that point. Just like, here we come!
It was pretty epic.
Let's go! Yeah. And
Everybody
I think after that, the game was electric. Mm-hmm. It started a little soft from the fans, honestly. But after about the 23rd, 24th minute, it was game on. Fans were really into this game. Thought it was really awesome.
Yeah, they wanted to come back immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
When was the third goal?
Third goal.
Our goal or their goal?
The 40th minute.
40th minute?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it looks like the game kind of... I watched it because I wasn't there.
Yeah, we passed it around a lot.
And one thing, looking at the stats,
doing
the stats, I think this is the 3rd game in a row. RSL had over 500 passes.
Right.
Oh, possession was insane, too.
We were passing it all around them, making them run and chase.
Which I absolutely love.
What was really awesome is they were condensing You know, like our biggest gripe was they get caught in isolation way too much off the sides. And now they were like condensing. Luna was able to really control the ball through the middle. Like they were playing him all the time. Catranis and Luna were such a good pair in this game, especially first half. I was like waiting for something to happen with those two. They were so good.
And we really diversified our portfolio during this game, right?
Oh, yeah.
We diversified. We were going left. We were going right. We were coming up the middle. We were switching up who was going where, and it was pretty epic. I think that's our best full game offensively. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you score 5 goals, that makes it seem that way. The Seattle game midweek was pretty good too, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But man, pretty dominant passing game.
What about Crooks? How did Crooks?
He figured into the first goal, which was good, and he figured into the second goal, even though it was a corner kick.
Yeah, he got trapped in some isolations where he was trying to dribble out of it, and he was pretty unsuccessful. You know,
that happened too, but most of them were in the final third, not in the
right. They were in the
field.
corner, off the wing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a pretty okay performance, but once again, there was so many times where he could have had some help and he could have shined. But, you know, it's a work in progress with him.
He seemed like he was frustrated.
Oh, he was especially like when he got subbed off too.
Yeah, when he was getting a little frustrated. He played, I thought his best game of the year so far was Seattle. I thought he played really well. Looked like he was coming in to the side.
Yeah, I kept waiting for him to score too. I think that might help him confidence-wise to be able to get one in the back of the net, right?
And I think he would much rather get an assist than a goal. Mm-hmm. But you need him to score. He needs to get a goal and be more dangerous. That'll open up for more assists. But
he could be a Cordoba, you know, a new Cordoba. Just all of a sudden get like 8 goals in the last 6 games or something.
Right.
Yeah,
as long as we just give him time.
Figure it out. Yeah, I think that's the key. You just got to give him time. But I am kind of concerned. Is it him? Is he not coming? Is he expecting them to play more like he wants to play, or still them trying to figure him out? And I wonder if it's leaning towards him not being willing to play at the frenetic pace, the style that seems to be Major League Soccer.
No, I think he just every now and then just is off a step, you know, which kind of reminded me of like what happened with Zach Steffen in the 32nd minute, right? Like they earned a foul. It was kind of a bogus foul. Everybody thought it was like, I don't know about that one, ref. Mm-hmm. Well, then Sam Vines lines up like he's going to take it. And then they just all of a sudden switch and move forward. And then Zach Steffen comes up to take it. And, you know, basically it's just a stall tactic, right? Mm-hmm. And then the ref was like, take it. And then he didn't. And then he yellow carded him for time wasting in the 32nd minute. And I was like, you know, it would be really funny because then he sat there and waited for another long time again. Wouldn't it be funny if he got a second yellow?
Well, that never happens.
I know.
It's the most frustrating part. Like,
I know.
Show him the yellow at the beginning of the game just so he can get away with it for the rest of the game.
Right, but at some point somebody's going to have to take that second yellow.
And it's all on the ref, though.
Yeah. And for time wasting?
Yeah.
I mean, it was there. There were a couple times you could have easily done it. Chicha was yelling for it at certain points.
Oh, yeah. Chicha was very frustrated at the ref this game. There was I can't remember who got a yellow, or somebody got a yellow, and it was like the first instance, and he was getting so pissed off at him. Yeah.
Well, Crooks was funny because Crooks knocked over number 18 on their team. What's that guy's name? You know what I'm talking about, the redheaded guy in the middle.
Oh.
He's your favorite player. Remember you told me before the game? You were like, oh, yeah, Laraz. Yeah, number 18. Oh, yeah, you're like, I love that guy. He's my favorite. Yeah, that guy. And Crooks just shoved him over one time off the ball. And like nobody, like the ref just let it go. And I was like, that's funny. And then I think it was just after halftime, he got his second yellow. Or it was his first yellow, but it probably could have been his second. You know, like when your first yellow doesn't get called, you're like, good, I get another one. Okay. So, good times.
But it was a really good first half.
Yeah. And pressure was high. And then, you know, we kept it up. We had chance after chance there for a little bit. And I'm like, dude, we're creating so many chances here. And the ball's getting in. Like, Katranas crossed a couple to Chicho, which almost got through. Chicho must have kicked the guy because he helped him up. You know, like, Chicho was being nice. I was like, wow, that's interesting.
So then, 40th minute, the second goal for RSL. So it's 4 goals already in the game. Thoughts on that?
So we watched it live, and I like video recorded it. Sometimes every now and then I just video record a corner. And I videoed it, and as soon as it went in, I was like, oh, crap. Because I saw what Chicho did, because I looked down at the video when I quick rewounded on my phone. And I was like, oh, crap. Chicho grabbed that guy and pulled him over on top of him. And then I think it was Sam Vines it was the other side. It was Keegan Rosenberry, if that's how you say it.
So bad.
He pulls him right down on top of him.
Literally.
But he wasn't in the line of the play. So the ball probably wouldn't have been anywhere near Rosenberry. But it was pretty funny that Chicho just grabbed him and pulled him back. And
what a strike from Gomez, though.
What a strike.
One time.
But that's why it took so long to kick off after that.
Because they were checking for
They were
it?
checking. Because that ball, I mean, what Chicho did was kind of sus.
You'd expect a foul on your side. You would want that to be a foul for sure.
And Gomez, you know, we asked him why he wasn't so happy after he scored a bunch of goals, you know, and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess I could dance a little more and enjoy myself. So then he did after that one. You know, feed me, dance. I don't know what that was. Was he asking somebody to give him some food?
It is prom season.
Okay. I don't know.
But we go into the half, tie 2-2.
It felt pretty good.
Felt like we had the comeback.
Because it felt like we earned their goals and we gave them their goals, right? So we were like, okay, this is still a winning formula because we earned it and they kind of were giving it. So, anyway, at least that's how it felt for me.
Yeah, very specialized attack from RSL. We're getting more cohesive, which is everything we've been wanting, especially in the beginning of the season. But we're starting to see the orchestra that's creating right now.
What a finish, man. That was his off foot, too, right?
Yeah,
Lefty?
left foot. Right at the top of the box.
Beautiful.
But anyways, halftime.
Almost like that guy's got some skills.
Talent, baby.
Yeah,
Skills
and they
that
also
kills.
mentioned, so we've got a couple of Colombians, and we got the
Ecuadorian.
and they mentioned
Puerto
in the
Rican.
broadcast. I don't know if you
Paraguayan.
watched it. I wasn't there, so I watched it again. And
Were you at the game?
No, I wasn't.
Wasn't at the game?
I
I could have
wasn't.
sworn you were at the game.
Yeah,
I saw you
I know.
there.
I was like,
You're
I'm
lying.
kinda-
he has season
I didn't want
tickets.
people to know, and you guys going to ruin it. I didn't want people to know I wasn't at the game.
Just keeping it on the down low.
Now you've destroyed the magic.
The magic.
Luke Mulholland, they mentioned in the broadcast, is down in Colombia, trying to round us up a couple more.
Oh, really? A couple of Colombians?
Oh, I
Scouts.
thought,
Some
you meant,
DPs?
I thought you meant Luke Lawfulson. Just kidding. I totally smashed two guys' names
Loftus's
together.
got to feel so bad.
I know, right?
So bad that like he sees this team that now is
And
just
he's
like
I
a
could've
juggernaut,
been a part of this.
and he's not starting.
No, but we got
he's-
good money for him on the trade, so.
Yeah,
And
Well, he wouldn't be starting here.
no,
No.
it's still.
And he's a
like you feel
good
bad for
backup
him.
for them, and he's doing all right. He's doing all right for himself.
So, we want to get into halftime? Who's doing it? You going to do our...
Oh,
Yeah, it's missing that part.
yeah, it is.
So, halftime.
Halftime. We got some orange slices. We got some juicy details.
All right, orange slices.
Orange slice, get you a sticker if you're looking at this on the pod. We got a new orange slice sticker coming to you at next home game. We'll be handing these bad boys out
You
because
earned this.
the guy that wasn't at this game this last time is going to sit out there by himself
Yeah, you guys
interviewing,
wanna
handing
help.
out stickers. No,
Beg
just
you
by
to
yourself.
take his stickers.
He's going to just hand you some
Please.
stickers and say, no, I don't need any tickets.
Did you earn an orange slice for coming to this game? That would
Absolutely.
be the question.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to start it off with my orange slice of the game. And I don't know who to give it to.
I'm going to give it to Moise Bombito. I wish that guy was on our team. He's
Bombito, he's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
In fact, the only time we scored is when he wasn't around.
Absolutely.
We kind of had to draw him out of the middle to score some of our goals, but in the end, we got 5.
Tyler, breaking ground. That's a first. We've never given an orange slice
to the opponent.
To the opponent.
Well,
That's incredible.
It was a joke. I really wasn't going to give it to any Rapids.
I thought you were. I thought you were being brave.
Nope, not doing that. Just joking.
We support you.
Come play for us.
We support you. What the heck are you doing on their team? But anyway, the kid's doing well. He's getting a call up from Canada. Good job, Bombito. But really, I wanted to give it to who I thought was the player of the first half, which is number 6, Brian Ojeda.
Oh, such good play by him. And that's the ball that he needs. So that strike that he got to set up the second goal, he needs that ball elevated off the ground so you can get like full laces through it, because he doesn't have that lot of mass when he hits that ball.
Right.
And I just want him to just volley a ball in. Like I just want him to connect on one, because he's
Palacio.
Palacio. Okay, don't change the subject.
Oh, he doesn't come in until the second half.
Shut up!
Wait, just stop.
You can bring it up later. Write it down. But no, like Ojeda needs multiple goals, because right now he is the unsung hero of this entire team, and people need to know it.
Thanks for making my point.
Yeah. So I really feel for that guy. I want him to be successful.
Yeah, he needs a goal though, even if it's just a tap in like an Ellie got a couple games ago.
So
okay, so who'd you get?
I'm going to do.
I'm always decisive, and you guys, it's like you guys didn't prepare for the podcast. You're like, who was in the lineup again?
I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to do a Nelly.
Okay.
A lot of the transition plays where we were moving the ball on the ground from right to left came through a Nelly. I mean, there was a couple times when Luna was dribbling through some guys, and Nelly took the ball, and then he was able to connect. And on the defensive side as well, and Nelly was locking it down. I mean, just kudos to both of them. They are so solid, and Nelly on the ball is so impressive. So impressive. He hardly ever got dispossessed. That ball is never too far away from him. He doesn't have a super long stride like Brody. I think he is such a successful player, especially being a draftee, you know?
Yeah, did you hear what he said in the postgame? Did you guys listen to the postgame?
No, I didn't.
I went to the postgame and I asked him a question, and I said, how do you keep getting yourself in the right angles? Did you take geometry or something in high school? I didn't say it like that. I said
good.
I said it a little bit.
Ivy League school.
I've said it a little more professionally than that.
What was your grade in geometry?
Right? Do you ever like look at stuff that's coming and get in the way of it for practice time? Stupid question.
I like your teeth.
Tell me.
No, but what did you say?
I asked him, and he said, I've always been good at getting in the way of things, and so I just put my body between the ball and the player, and good things tend to happen. I learned that at Cornell, and then he's like, I went to Cornell. I don't know if you knew that. He didn't say that, but
he went to Cornell?
He did mention Cornell.
What was Cornell?
Yeah, he's like, I learned that at Cornell. In fact, my coach at Cornell, he kind of keeps in touch with me, and he kind of went off on this little thing about how that's his favorite part of the game. He enjoys mixing it up with people. So when they come through him and he falls down, he's laughing. He's like, that's why I don't take it too serious, is because that's the game inside the game for me, is getting my bigger body in between them and the ball, and then trying to dig in and not let them push me around. And I'm like, well,
sounds
those
like a
shoulders,
grinder
bro.
Profile.
Yeah, this Oneda. Maybe that's what it is.
Oneda?
Brian Mecca Oneda.
Brian Mecca
Oneda. I like that.
Our double pivot, Brian Mecca Oneda.
Brian Mecca Oneda. This is a duo that could be here for a long time, and it pretty quick we might not be able to afford them, but these two were just tearing it up. I was gonna think about maybe having Chicho and Gomez share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah, sure.
They can share. They've been sharing the load all season and working together. Chicho, give Chicho the one for the WWE. That nice move. The takedown. I guess he got.
Yeah.
How many points for takedown? 2 points for takedown?
2 points for takedown, 1 for escape.
Yeah, so 2 points for takedown. And so he gets most of it, but Gomez with the goal. They both got goals, so I guess.
Yeah. But just in the first half.
Just the first half.
Just the first half, yeah.
Just the first half.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the first half.
So yeah, I thought, that's who will get my orange slice. Now you got me all flustered. Brimecca Oneida.
Brimecca Oneida.
I think we should just call him Bronada.
Bros. I like Brimecca.
So
Brimecca.
it is halftime. We wanted to bring up the Seattle game during halftime.
The Seattle game.
That was on Wednesday. Had a little different feel to it. RSL just kind of dominated. Seattle had quite a few changes. I think they had 7 changes, or they had 5 or 7 players that were from MLS Next on their starting or on the bench. But we had Beavers in goal, and then we had the surprise, the tallest right back ever to play for Real Salt Lake. That was confirmed by Trey
Philip
Quinton, and Glad.
Fitzgerald. Trey's not that tall.
No, Trey. I tweeted at him, and
Okay.
he says yes, he's
The tallest right back to ever tweet in the history of
the
RSL's
tallest right back to ever play, because Chris Schuler didn't play right back.
Yeah, he never did.
So it was Quinton, Glad, Vera, Brody, and then Brimecca Oneida in the middle. Midfield, Gomez, Crooks, and Luna, and Chicho up top. So we did have Beaver starting. Seattle, I was really surprised at how unexcited Seattle was to be here.
Yeah, it was weird because that Leo Chu guy, he looked super good in the first half, and then he got injured and went off. And I was like, I didn't even see what happened.
He got
It was like over on the sideline,
Yeah, there was a sliding tackle in the box, and I think he kind of caught like it was his hip.
Oh, okay.
Kind of
a hip hinge, and then he kind of tried to walk it off.
And then he ended up
laying on the sideline.
Yeah.
Hey, that's kind of what happened with Bodie Hidalgo, and then he hasn't come back for 3 games now.
And I was really disappointed. I was expecting the Moose Knack attack to be a little more dynamic, but neither one of them could.
Moose was loose, and we let him go for a good reason.
No, he got into the box and kicked it right at McMath on the one, and
Beavers.
on the other one. Sorry, Beavers.
Because, he could have kicked it at McMath. That was a really bad shot.
Yeah.
Beavers was on the bench.
Yeah, that
McMath was
been
on the bench.
really
That
bad.
was a good joke.
That was.
But then on his second time through, he didn't quite get it even on frame. So he had 2 decent chances and wasted them both. And then Rusnak had a decent chance, but he didn't quite get to the ball in time. So it ended up not being because it was a good cross, and he just didn't get to the ball in time to actually get the shot around on frame. So it skied it too.
And I went back and forth. Is it Moose Knack or Rusnovsky?
Rusnovsky, definitely. Rusnovsky, yes.
Well, I like Moose Knack attack.
Moose
and then
Knack attack.
the Rusnovsky did not work. So,
Well, overall, how did we like the game?
That game?
2-0 finish.
Yeah.
Luna.
It could have been 6, honestly.
Yeah.
There were that many chances. And Sam, for those of you that don't know, Sam is
Sam.
the younger brother of Brennan.
Oh, yeah.
And I sat with him and watched this game. And I was distracted by my 6-year-old daughter who came with me. So she was like, Dad, can we get a churro? Dad, can we get a churro? I'm like, churros are $17, kid.
Oh, I know.
How can we afford a churro?
It's
or
ridiculous.
2 for 40.
Or 2 for 40.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
What
what?
kind of logic is that, dude?
No, I did get an RSL bucket with popcorn and a churro for $22, though.
Really?
Man.
Yeah. It was a collector's bucket, though.
I got a 2 tall boys for $30. And I regret it.
Yeah, I did too.
Absolutely.
But I still have
Finally.
the bucket to
Really?
show my
I got 2 in the fridge.
my
Don't
bad
worry.
mistake. You know, it's like one of those things where you make a mistake and it follows you around for a while.
Isn't that children?
Oh,
Oh, but they're so cute.
or that bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we took it to them. They sucked, and it's so good to see. We love the Sounders
we had 21
not having
shots.
any sound.
They had 9.
Yeah.
We had 9 shots on goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should have
that's impressive.
scored a couple more. Really.
Fry got rid of his blonde tips finally.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, that was probably the
Jeez.
most annoying goalie
The
in
fact
the
that they
league.
went out in the early 2000s was probably
Yeah, and
he
he's-
never
he was
caught
holding
on
on to
till
it.
now. Like, come
Like,
on.
come on, man. You leave that for like swimmers in high school.
Come on,
You know?
Stefan.
Come on, man. Grow up. But yeah, they lost.
It was really workmanlike. And like I said, I was really disappointed. I expected it to be kind of a fight.
But it wasn't.
It
in the
wasn't.
end.
Seattle is just struggling now.
Yeah, they don't
and there's a
have fight
lot
in
of people thinking that Smetzer, who's really done a great job there. Might be in
Hot water.
I think
but
he's the second longest tenured coach in the league behind Kansas City's Vermees. Yeah.
And then who knows what they'll do? They lost their general manager, who's now in Atlanta, the president of Garth Lagerwey, president of Atlanta.
President of Garth Lagerway Enterprises.
President Garth Lagerwey.
We should run him for president.
Yeah.
I mean, of MLS. What are you guys talking about? I don't want him to be president of the United States. That's a different debate. Do you want to have a debate about that?
Let's and then
Or should we keep it
I
about
want
soccer
Reddit
on
to
the
say
podcast?
something about that. I'm on Reddit.
And
I'm gonna look
Seattle is in trouble because they've got Weibel in charge. So we'll see.
Yeah, I did see Weibel, and I gave him a pat on the back, and he's like, "Hey, man." I don't know if he remembers talking to us last time in the press box and stuff, but
You would think he would.
you would think he would. We had a really good, hey, you played midfield that one game, and I watched and laughed conversation. Remember that?
And he
You
said,
were there.
"Hey, you're kind of a big guy."
He's like, wow, you're kind of a big guy. I'm like, you're kind of a big guy to play midfield. And he's like, I know. That's why I wasn't any good at it.
So yeah, it was a pretty workmanlike, dominating win for RSL. It was great to see Diego Luna get the goal. It was a beautiful goal, and he is turning around. He came in the post game and was talking about, and they also KSL did a little thing about mental health.
Oh, yeah.
And how he's working on his, and kudos to him for having the courage to let people know about it.
Yep. And Gomez got the first goal. Little cut back, pass it in with his left foot, kind of put Fry into a weird spot. He couldn't tell. You know how when you can shoot to either side and score, and you pick your head up and you're like, oh, good. Keeper's far enough away. I don't have to do it quickly. I can place it, and I can pick either side, and then boom, you do it, right? Like that's a fun way to score.
Like you do.
As a center back, did you do that a lot?
Yeah, because I took the penalty kicks.
No way.
Yeah, so because I was a really good passer. I don't have an amazing long pass, and that's why I could never play in MLS. But I was good at the short game.
Or
so,
college.
Hey,
We're just skipping a level here.
yeah. Well, there wasn't a league when I was a kid, right?
Or the Premier League.
Oh, definitely not there.
Maybe La Liga.
No, what are you talking about? I was never that good. I just said I wasn't good.
Well,
the only thing that stopped me was that
truth
long
be told-
pass. That long pass was the only
truth be
thing.
told, I was never good enough to play.
Never good at the long ball.
I was never going to make it to MLS.
I was pretty good at the short ball, though.
When Alex Ferguson called me up and he was like, "Hey,
Sir Alex?
yeah, have you fixed your long ball?" And you're like,
Nope.
"Can't."
Nope. I got nothing for
got
you,
kids
man.
now.
I got
Sorry.
kids.
And he's like, all right.
Sorry.
Yeah,
He's like, Arsenal's kicking on nuts.
kicking on nuts.
Anyway, so, no, I was never great, but I did take the penalties because I was good at ball placement.
Man, taking penalties and being the main man in the showers, huh? That's awesome. Anyways, second half. Let's dive into that breakdown.
All right, Seattle game's over. Moving on to the second half of the Colorado game.
We may have to pause. here.
Game is tied 2-2. And we went to the showers. How were the showers, Brandt?
They were great. They were good ball placement.
I don't know if you know this.
Nobody left empty-handed.
I wasn't there.
You guys are saying some weird stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. My brother hit the Hunter Lions Club, though. He said that was pretty nice.
The Hunter Lions Club?
The Hunter Wolverine Lions Club. 100 Lions Club. Oh, there it
That's
is.
why I was like, when did Hunter get a club?
Hunter
They hit up
Lions.
the Hunter
The
Lions.
Hunter Safety Club.
That's
a different
Your
one,
vision
too.
is
Man,
important.
I am not good. This podcast is, I am so sorry. I made so many mistakes. I'd like to apologize to all 5 of the listeners who are still listening.
You'll never make it to
we get like
NBC.
over 150, dang.
You'll never go from podcasting to NBC.
No, never. I will never make that
Dang it,
jump.
man. I wanted to be on CBS. Me and Kate Abdo would be so great.
We'd be so good together.
Micah
No.
Richards, all them.
No.
My vote is Rebecca Lowe. I want to hang out with her.
Oh my gosh,
She's
because
so
you got a
nice.
thing for blondes.
Oh, boy.
No, she's just really nice. She's funny.
Very nice.
She's good in the shower. Okay. I'm sorry.
And
Bring it
so
up.
halftime starts. We come out of the showers. We're ready to watch the game. The game starts.
I wasn't there in the showers.
Brandt wasn't anywhere.
If you want to know where I was flipping burgers.
No, he wasn't. He was
I was.
nowhere.
Yeah, he was flipping burgers on his beautiful Blackstone.
Oh.
Don't get him on a tangent. Don't get him on a tangent.
Blackstone.
Blackstone.
That
Wow.
was so nice.
I have
But
no idea what you're talking about.
we had a sub
Good.
at halftime.
Yeah.
What was that sub?
Brody. Everybody else came out of the showers. Brody back in.
Why?
Headed
What
back to
happened?
the showers.
Wait, you put Katrenis in for Brody.
Yeah.
You meant
Brody got
That's-
subbed out.
Yeah, but Katrenis
Katrenis
was already in.
already in, homie.
He was playing at that point.
Was it
You mean
Oviedo, right? No. Oviedo came in.
Oviedo
later.
came
Was
in really late.
Oh, let's see. I goofed it up. My apologies.
Don't worry, I've goofed up 6 things already. I can't even say goofed up. I said goosed up. So there we go.
Don't say goose step.
No, it was Quentin. Quentin came in for him.
Quentin came in.
Did he?
At halftime?
Oh,
Or
maybe
was it a
that
little later?
It must have been later. I
Yeah,
have the.
I think it was a
didn't
little later.
adjust it. This is the wrong one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because nobody in the half switched. We stayed.
Yeah, Brody
Stayed
came on for Katrenis in the other game, right?
Yeah, I goofed it up. I didn't fix.
Yeah.
I didn't finish. I knew I was forgetting something. So halftime at the Seattle game, he came in.
Yeah.
Yep. So
But in the
Never
Colorado
mind.
game, we did not make that sub.
So I didn't make the sub.
And honestly, so right at the beginning, we were pretty aggressive. You saw the frustration in Crooks, though. He did have that gentleman foul, holding up that guy, which was good of him. That was great.
Just pulled him back by his shoulders and sat him on his behind.
Pretty.
That was kind of funny.
He was mad because I think
Somebody
Ojeda
missed a
kinda got
pass. Yeah.
they were messing around over on the side, and
chippy.
he got caught in possession, and they took off with the ball, and he had to do the foul. But yeah, he looked like he was frustrated.
Yeah, he did. He looked like he was frustrated a couple different times. But Crooksy's got to watch out for that. Like, I get the tactical foul. I get the emotional foul. I get the let's calm our team down and take this yellow card kind of foul. What I don't get is the, I have to run back, I'm just going to grab this guy foul. There were 6 guys behind the ball and 2 guys breaking forward from Colorado. Like, do the math, bro.
Yeah, this is
Like,
not a dog zo. It's not.
Yeah, like don't. It's not a goal. They're not going in on goal. They just got past you. So trust your team. And I that's the red or the yellow. I do not appreciate is that one.
I hate watching this one.
Oh, so yeah.
So this is the third goal or fifth goal. Fifth goal.
The 5th goal of the game. 3rd goal for them.
And one of the Achilles heels of our style of play at the moment, which is the length of like how many miles you have to run.
Keep going.
I mean,
Keep going.
so many Colorado guys getting forward. Good pass. I mean, that opened up quite a bit. But Ojeda's gassed and Nelly's
Bombito.
trying.
I mean, Bombito played it out of the back to start it.
Yeah.
Played it to Mihailovic all the way up front in one pass, and
Well, it
he
was 2
played it in
passes.
behind
It was a line breaking pass, and then it flipped
to
over.
Mihailovic, who played it up and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got jerseys forward. And kudos to McMath.
And-
He stops the first volley.
Well, stop right there because Vera stepped at that through ball in to Mihailovic. So Vera got run right past. And Katranos was already up playing
Oh, yeah.
right back on the other team. He was way up. He was guarding Keegan Rosenberry on that one. He was guarding their defender. And then
Yeah.
Vera stepped in, and that's a pretty sizable mistake.
Especially
he
as a
came
center
in-
back. You don't see that as a center back.
He stepped way up the field and way out of position. And then he didn't run back real hard either.
No, he left it up to them. He did not hustle back.
Yeah, and Glad didn't slide over quick enough. But even if he did, it
Well,
was
he's got
4
3 guys on his left
2.
side.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going to slide in
right.
like that.
So
He's trying to play the numbers game. But, yeah, and they got 3 guys right off of that pass through it. McMath stops that first ball, which is a great stop, but he, has to go to ground when he stops it. Next guy comes in, and he gets a toe poke at it. McMath slightly gets it, and at this time, he's just trying to save anything and he can, and that third guy finally just put it through past him. But it was just...
Mihailovic, and then second guy, and then Mihailovic to finish it off. And McMath's like, dude, I made 2 saves on this play.
Somebody help me out. Brody was jumping up and down,
kind of like the goal we scored on them, where Stefan saved it twice and then we tapped it in.
Well,
our tap in was cooler though.
Great goal by them, really good. But one thing that was awesome again, there was no drainage of life. There was still focus. Everybody was ready to play, and it didn't seem like we were ever gonna quit. And to their well, not to their point, but not much happened after. I mean, there was...
Yeah, Harris was getting down that wing for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden he didn't get down there anymore. Mm-hmm. It was kind of strange. He had a really strange game, Harris. He kept getting run by, and then he shows up and gets the assist to the block to the assist. Whatever. I still think he served it in, so it's his assist. But yeah, that was interesting. But the response, I think, was the best part of that goal.
Mm-hmm. We were ready. And then also Luna kind of took it personally. Luna,
I think a lot of our guys did, right?
Well, Luna held onto the ball. I think it was like the 60th minute. He took it straight to him. I mean, he went through like 4 or 5 guys right off the bat and almost came up with something. And it was awesome to see that they were not quitting ever.
And was that in the time frame when Crook subbed out?
It was right after the goal. Crooks was subbed out in the 60th minute. Palacio came in, and I think everybody. You guys were up in the press box. What were the thoughts when Palacio comes in? Was like,
oh boy, why are we subbing Ojeda? I mean, I think that's what 2 people said, and then Julio for Crooks. Are we sure? What's Pablo doing? Those are the comments I heard right there, and I was like, I can't say I disagree. I would have gone Brody first. But, okay. Here we are. But,
I wanted to talk about this too a little bit, is that Pablo has not been, at the start of the season, he was getting pretty stingy with the subs.
Yeah.
But the last couple of games, he has just started subbing. And he's sending kids. Barajas has come in early. He sends in Palacio, who has not, by all accounts, has not played well. He's kind of struggled, and maybe they're just deciding the only way he's going to play better is we play him.
Mm-hmm. Give him some playing
time. Give him the minutes.
Yeah.
You're not going to get confidence on the bench.
He did say that in the postgame.
You're not going to get confidence in practice like you can by playing in the game. You've got to have the trust of your coach and feel like they're putting me in. I can do this. So
yeah, and it was the first time I've ever seen the rule enacted where if you come off the field too slow,
dude,
you get held off.
Like, Crooks, get your bum off the freaking field.
Yeah, and he did not get his bum off the field. He did not. And so Julio went to run in, and the ref's like, "Nope,
well, you got to wait 2 minutes, man."
Sorry, pal. And he did, and that's I think when, Luna was like, "Oh yeah, fine, I'm going nuts, and I'm gonna go crazy and just go to goal and try to score." And he, did try to score, but he did not score.
And then Vera got a yellow in the 65th.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Was that the soft yellow? I couldn't remember that one.
RSL does.
So many other things happened. So.
And RSL does have a game on Saturday, so they're in a pretty big stretch of games.
Yeah.
And they're cramming some games in because we've got the Leagues Cup coming up, where we'll take a couple weeks off. So they're getting some games in.
That was not much of a yellow.
I don't know if you saw the replay.
He barely touched him.
You watch his elbow. He was lucky that it didn't.
Nah.
Vera has been.
So you're not supposed to cut across somebody when they have the ball like that.
Vera has been. He's making a reputation for himself. He can't go a game without getting a yellow. But if you watch the other angle, he kind of leaves that elbow up. But I don't think it was red. But I wouldn't have been surprised if
it was his shoulder. He ran into his shoulder and fell over. Look, he doesn't.
He leaves that elbow up and catches it.
He run into his shoulder.
That's
Look
the
where
angle.
his face hits his shoulder. He runs into his shoulder. There's nothing you can do. You can't do anything. He's coming across sideways.
Well, if you're leaving it up to VAR, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, if you pick your elbow up sideways like this,
That's what it looked like to
it
me.
would have knocked him out. His elbow was down. He hit him in the shoulder.
So he gets the yellow, and then
Soft yellow.
Oh, I thought it was yellow, but anyway. So then they made some subs. They made 4 subs.
Yeah, they weren't too successful with those first 2, and so they added 2 more. And Lawfulson came on, and I was kind of excited.
Yeah, Fernandez came out, and Cabral came in, and Ronan came in, and Harris came out. That was the end of Harris's night. And introduced in the 71st minute, Yappy,
Who
who's
played
the big forward.
He played well in the first game, right? I
He
remember we were
did. He
talking
scored
about
on us in the first game. He had the game winner. He kind of manhandled Vera and scored the game winner. And Navajo came out. And Lawfulson came in, and Laraz went out. So they were trying to inject some spryness to their attack and kind of defend. That's a bit of a defensive move.
Yeah, that was a big
of those.
big helper going forward that we didn't see was they were defensive minded.
And then in the 75th minute, we had another sub, and that one was for
Catranas.
Brian Oviedo. And Catranas came out. And I heard a few rumblings in the press box about that, too. And I said, did I turn around and say, hey, Brennan, that guy serves in a good driven cross, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So I
One of my favorite qualities he does.
well, and the cool thing about Oviedo is he's old, and I say that like it's a blessing and a curse. But when you come in the 75th minute, everybody else is tired, but you're not, and that's the only way an old guy can really make a difference in the league is when you're not tired, but everybody else is. Right?
Yeah.
And then Anelli got a yellow for pulling on Lawfulson, which again I didn't see
just
that
trying to
he
bro
needed
hug
to
him.
do. Which again, Anelli doesn't do that very often. So I'm okay with it, but he didn't need to do it.
And Abubakar came in.
I think that was the nail in the coffin for them, though.
when they brought in Abubakar.
Yeah, that was something that I would
5 in the back.
I would not have suggested because that's the whole Holt situation. You know, the 5th man in the back changes the way that they set up with transition balls, and I don't like it. And it helped us out because we got a goal right after that.
Yeah, because it looks like Colorado was going for. If we're not going to win this game, we're gonna get a point out of this.
Yeah.
And so they kind of went heavy with the defense, and then all hallelujah breaks out, right?
Yeah, this corner kick, nothing much gets of it. It pops out to Anelli, and Nelly traps the ball, and my first thought is, yes, Anelli's going to get a goal. Places it right over the keeper's head.
Oh wait, the free kick, or the
No,
so the
this-
free kick led to the corner kick because Vera smashed it and
Yeah.
the wall kind of blocked that. Okay.
Yeah, and then it cuts out to Anelli. Anelli traps the ball one time and then hits it right over the goalie's head.
But who drove in the ball from the corner?
Oviedo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
missed
so
him.
good in high school with that driven ball. He got
I
into
know.
MLS.
I know.
Yeah.
That's how it
He
works,
went right
man.
from high school
he
to
just
MLS.
wait right from high school in Costa Rica to MLS,
Yeah.
the Premier
And right
League.
here.
I don't know. He's in a
Boom!
lot of places.
And then he rose up like a salmon.
That was the best part. If you watch this back over and over, Anelli hits this ball so sweetly.
Oh, so sweet.
And Zach gets a block on it. Zach Steffen. He robbed both Ojeda and Anelli in this game from really sweet goals. But in the end, Chicho has this amazing ability to just go where the ball's going to fall.
He doesn't flinch. He doesn't have that starstruck mentality.
No, like watch him on the whole, like watch the whole thing back. He does this like weird spin and he hits it and then he just knows where to go. There's 5 guys standing there and he just goes to where the ball's going to fall and he jumps and hits it in over 2 guys taller than him.
So
And then Bombito knocks him over. And then it's funny because then Keegan Rosenberry falls over too. And the ref's like, and then Zach Steffen's like, he fouled him. Anyway, Zach Steffen also blocked it with his head. Because he touched it, it hit the bar, hit him in the back of the head, hit the bar again, and then came out to where Chicho.
the best thing about this, though, was they celebrated right in front of the goalie.
Right there. They never do that.
If I did the post game, I was gonna ask like, what was that about? Like, was there just some like trash talking going on, and that was like shoving it in their face? But they grouped up right in front of them, and
right
then
there.
Chicho just walked around.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not.
He's like, I'm not gonna rub it in his face, but you know.
Well, let me ask you this about Chicho. You brought it up. Is that something that's taught, or is that just innate? Because on that rebound, he is moving towards the ball before anybody else on both teams.
Yeah.
And is that just something, hey, you work on as a kid, it just comes to you? It's like, I want to get the ball, I want to get the ball, I want to get the ball. Or is it just something that you're just born with?
No, I think you kind of have to not only want the ball, but have to know what you're going to already do before you get there. And you kind of have to have that confidence and that aura about you to be like, I'm going to go get the ball because the best place for that ball is with me. And if you don't have that confidence, you're not going to go for those headers, right? You've seen Glad do that a few times where he's come around and volleyed stuff, and you're like, holy crap, Glad, what is that? And it's when he's feeling it, right? It's the same thing. And Chicho, I think he feels like that all the time. You know,
He's just in a constant state of flow.
Right? He must be that way because he just, you saw everybody kind of stops and watches the ball hit the crossbar, hit Zach in the head, hit the crossbar again, and Chicho's already moving. He's like, it's coming over here, and I'm going to head it in. And that's what plays out. So, I mean, and yeah, he didn't celebrate all hardcore in Zach's face. I think he was just trying to grab the ball and get it back to restart it.
He wasn't even there. He ran off, and the rest of the team's in front of Zach.
But after that goal, that was pure pandemonium. Everybody was in it. I love that chant, like, who are we? Real Salt Lake. Is that what they were saying? They were saying something like that.
Yeah, it was like
right below us.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, the chanting was super loud. Everybody was off their seat, and that was when the game really came alive.
Yeah, and the supporter section was going nuts, man. Mm-hmm. We had our rowdies out, and they were getting loud and rowd. Mm-hmm. That's short for rowdy, if you didn't know.
Loud and rowd?
Yeah, loud and rowd.
You weren't trying to say proud?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't make mistakes on the podcast, Brandt. That's a rookie mistake right there. I make so many mistakes.
So were you expecting another goal?
Yeah.
At that point, yeah. Yeah, I was like, somebody's going to win this game.
Yeah.
And it was the 86th minute, so I didn't expect 2 goals, but just 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to the next goal, because there wasn't much time.
And wasn't that cool, though? We were down 1 with about 10 minutes to go, and we got multiple goals.
Oh, yeah. Oviedo with the cross.
Yep,
Gomez
Oviedo
with the touch.
Started it again.
Chicho with the nice through ball around him.
Such a sweet ball inside.
I love how Brody tries to get in the way.
That's what I was literally thinking. I was like,
where are you going, Brody?
Yeah. He
almost did get in the way, but I think that threw off because I think Zach saw Brody coming across, and then all of a sudden Gomez snuck in and just poked it past him. And then everybody just went nuts. The whole stadium was going crazy. He was going crazy. Went over and celebrated in front of the family
Julio
section,
jumped on top of him,
pointing up at their families in the suite up on the 4th floor. You know, handing out hand hearts. What do they call those? Hand hearts, points to heaven, all those things. Right?
Yeah. Obligatory. Got to do it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Got to do it. So then. The games, you probably got to feel the game's over,
you
right?
think that, well, you know, after 2 crosses like that from Oviedo that lead to goals, you're like, man, that guy's good. Why don't we play him more?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about...
we have 2 left backs and no right backs now? What? This is backwards from almost all of MLS, right?
What I love about that goal is you got Chicho, the best player on the team.
Yeah.
By far.
Dinks the ball in.
Gomez is excellent as well.
Sets him up perfectly, though.
But Chicho, he could have been other players, maybe like a younger player, maybe like Gomez.
Yeah, with less experience.
They might turn and try and get a shot, but not Chicho.
Nope.
You're up a goal. they expect him to maybe take a shot, and he makes that pass, and boom.
Well, and he stood
Not
up
Chicho.
tall. That kind of makes the defender stand up a little bit and not expect them to run by, right? And then he flicked it. And he flicked it just so nice, right? And wow, the place was going nuts. People were taking their shirts off and using them for flags over their heads, you know. It was pandemonium. Mass hysteria. Dogs and cats living together.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. So then,
And Yappy runs into...
Oh, a questionable
Brody.
8 minutes. Questionable.
8 minutes did seem like a lot at the time.
Yeah.
8
I don't know.
minutes. I was like, does the league want them to catch up? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Seems a wee bit sus.
Conspiracy. Well, Crooks, I guess they didn't stop the game for Crooks to go off, but
He did wander
there
off
were a ton of
slowly.
subs in the second half.
Yeah.
So
There
let's
were
get to
a
the final goal, and that was this was one where like people are
Right,
like,
like, please pass, please pass,
give
please
him
pass.
give him a hat trick, give him a hat trick, but it didn't work. He didn't.
Well, Julio
Julio
had
needs a goal.
a chance before in
Oh,
the earlier part of the game.
Round of applause for Michael Shang and Palacio for
Yeah.
being defensive and getting that turnover.
Yeah.
Because Chang got in front of him and Palacio followed him and trailed him. Like,
Yeah.
they're still in the play
They're
at the end
pressing,
of the game.
yeah.
And that's something new. That's not something we've seen. And then Julio gets a good touch. And at this point, we were like, please pass, please pass, please pass. He shoots. And luckily, it hits the post. He's onside. And it goes in.
Yeah.
And
All of those things.
Maybe this
Were-
will encourage him to be onside from now on. Who knows?
Right.
he did.
Yeah, it was definitely a high press situation, and in years past, Real hasn't done that at the end of games.
No.
They've sat back and absorbed the pressure and subbed in another center defender, and I love that we went for it this time at the end of the game and really got another goal. And yeah, there was the time earlier in the half when Julio walked in on goal, but he earned that one, right? He was pressing, he was back pressing, and got just a nice lucky touch and then walked in on goal. And I said this when he missed that chance. I said, look, you're the fastest guy on the field. Turn sideways and just dribble sideways until you have a good angle. It's not super complicated to finish when you're as fast as that guy. Not that I was ever that fast, but I've played against guys that are super slow, okay?
In the MLS?
No, in indoor soccer.
Okay.
And the best way to
Indoor
score
soccer.
is just turn sideways. Just stop running at him. Because if you run at him, eventually you're going to run into him, right? So turn sideways and go to the side. You're the fastest guy on the field. Nobody's going to catch you. And then he did exactly that, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, so fantastic game.
What? Snuffleupagus over there? What was that?
I'm tired.
Oscar the Grouch called. He wants his...
So fantastic game.
Tailback?
Come from behind and a high scoring game. So it was entertaining throughout. It was one of those like, hey, you're not gonna like this game. Oh, just kidding. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be competition. We love it. And also that adds up our aggregate for the
Right.
Rocky Mountain Cup, right?
You know, yes, it does. Sorry. That's a
So
great
now we're
point.
6-5
We gotta
now?
come back to whatever this number says. But
We're 6-5.
yes,
We're one up.
we are 5-3 and they were 2-1. So that last goal actually really mattered in the Rocky Mountain Cup standings.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is tie in Colorado and we're set. If they win in Colorado, then they win it.
Yeah.
But a tie goes to us, and if we win, of course, we win. So it simplifies the goal differential thing.
So the expected
we're
goals, we were at 2.8, and we got 5. And they were
2.8. Why does it say 12.8 on here?
I was guessing,
Oh,
and
okay.
3.4 for them.
They were 3.4 expected goals.
They
Yeah.
are a solid team though.
They've done. They
Wow.
did some great work in the offseason. They are
Oh,
high
yeah.
up in the standings. If you look at the standings,
And they
it's really flipped.
we wasted way more chances than they did. They were very clinical with their chances.
So we are on top of 28 points. Minnesota is right there at 24. We
With
played 2
two.
more games, but we also we have a goal differential of 13.
Dude, that's our best goal differential in forever. Is that our best ever?
We'll have
Is that our highest goal differential ever?
Probably at
We should
this
just
point in
tweet
the
that it
season.
is, and then if it's not, Trey will correct us
Yeah,
on
Trey will
Twitter.
fix it. Austin has turned it around. Austin was,
Yeah.
they were
Won
stinking
a
it up.
couple
They're
in a
in
row.
third. The Galaxy are right there. I wasn't impressed with the Galaxy when we played there, as I thought I would be. LAFC's kind of creeping up. And then you got Colorado, the Rapids in 6th place, 21 points, which is a big turnaround from last season. And then Vancouver is gently sliding down the table.
Let's give them a soft landing.
Come back.
They're very nice up there in Vancouver.
Yeah. And then Houston and St. Louis. St. Louis has just been struggling.
Well, did you see him lose to what was it?
They've
Toronto in the
Dallas
Canadian
or-
Championship or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like 6-0 or something like that.
Wait, St. Louis
Yeah.
was in the Canadian.
Well, I don't know what it was. It was a game. St. Louis was in there.
They've lost the last 2 games.
Well, and they are -1 goal differential.
Where did I see that?
They lost it to LAFC 2-0, and then they lost to, we'll get to it, 3-1 to Cincy.
Yeah, Cincy kind of took them apart. Which Cincy's been doing that to a lot of people. And then after St. Louis, you got number 10, Seattle, which we beat midweek to leave them on 14 points in 14 games. And then the teams that are worse than that, which are currently Portland, Dallas, Sporting, Kansas City, and San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, those teams can't get out of their way. Maybe this is it for Peter Vermees. He had a horrible start last season and back to a horrible start this season.
Yep.
And some of the scores around the league for Saturday: Nashville 1-1 over Atlanta, Charlotte 0-0 draw with the Galaxy, Cincy and St. Louis 3-1 victory there for Cincy, Miami 1-0 victory over DC United, New England lost to Philly 3-0, New York City FC and the Red Bull played to a 2-2 draw. Toronto beat Montreal. Is that the one you're looking at? Toronto beat Montreal 5-1.
That's the one, yep.
Austin
That one got ugly.
3-2 over Kansas City. Austin's really turned it around. Chicago
Who turned it around? Like, who recently has turned it around?
for Austin.
Oh, was it Austin that's
Austin,
turning it around?
yeah,
Okay,
they-
I couldn't remember.
They've climbed up the table. They're already in third.
I can't remember.
And Houston and FC Dallas 1-1 draw. Minnesota beat Portland 2-1. Portland is just not playing well. And San Jose lost to Orlando and 1-0. And Seattle and Vancouver tied. So those were the games on Saturday. RSL's next games. This Saturday in Dallas.
Ooh.
Hopefully it won't be
Humid.
hot and humid. RSL has never, they've started to do a little bit better, but historically,
They have not
the entire state
done
of
well.
Texas has been their Achilles heel.
Yeah.
And then the following Wednesday, they're up in Seattle. So let's see if there's any Rusnowski or Moose Knack Attack is going to do
Moose
anything.
Knack Attack. I like that.
Well, yeah, see if they can get in there. So
And then we're back at the Riot on June 1 against Austin.
yeah, so that should be a really good
The
game.
Mean Green Machine.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, any other thoughts on the league?
Looking good for us right now. It's still a little young, you know.
But wow.
We-
I think we need to kind of take a minute and appreciate what
we've
RSL's
accomplished.
done. Yeah. Because we've been in first place by goal differential or a point or two with a couple games in hand. And maybe that's what's going on here with Cincinnati, 4 points behind with 2 games in hand. But, man, 14 points or 14
Minnesota's
games
behind us.
in, and we're doing it. We're really in first place in the West.
And they're forcing RSL as a team. They're forcing the world to take notice. Major
Mostly
League Soccer.
Apple TV hasn't taken notice though.
Yeah, they have Andrew Wiebe, and they are starting to take notice that it's Miami, Cincinnati, and RSL in the hunt for.
Yeah, they put us at 4th in the power rankings this week. 4th.
No, I'm just saying the app hasn't
the
put
app,
us
yeah.
up front because
So
I
who's
still have to
third?
search. It's not like
Still gotta
in the-
search,
there's
yeah.
They got anyone
Oh,
else?
I'm 4th. Yeah, so it said Miami, Cincinnati, Columbus, and then us.
Columbus. Well, they're getting a lot of credit for
being in 7th place.
Well,
in the
it's
East.
still really young. It's still really young. I
know.
mean, they
Power rankings are.
and
10
they're probably
points
getting,
this early in the season is totally fine.
they're probably getting credit for their CCL stuff
True.
Yeah.
because they have been they're headed for the final there.
Lights out.
So yeah, it's been fantastic, and like I said, I don't want to get too excited because then the wheels come. I don't want to be disappointed.
Brant, we gotta
but I'm
talk
just gonna
ab-
let go. I'm just gonna let go and enjoy.
Gotta let you talk about
Crawley.
Oh, do we?
your
Should we?
favorite
Should we?
thing. We really
Should we go to the Come On
should.
Crawley update?
We need to.
And what is it? It's the Come On Crawley update.
Come on, Crawley.
Where did we leave you last? Did we talked about the
Brennan, come on, give us the come on, Crawley.
We're right behind Wrexham. We're on their coattails.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see you.
So in the final
We talked about the playoffs, right?
at Wembley, yes,
Yeah, MK Dons. We
We
The
dispatched them
McDonald's.
we took it to them.
8-1.
8-1 in aggregate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beatdown.
The biggest beatdown in EFL playoff history
Wow.
across all the leagues with playoffs.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. Massive. So Crawley actually went into the final against Crew Alexandra as the favorite. The bookies had
And
them as the
having
favorite.
never, ever played at Wembley before.
It was, yeah.
Even though Crawley is not that far from Wembley.
No. It's 30, 40 minutes from London, maybe an
Now,
hour.
explain to the non-Anglophile out there why Wembley matters.
Wembley is the home of English soccer. Like if there is a big game, the FA Cup, a lot of the tournaments they play there, all of the finals are played at Wembley.
Neutral ground.
It's a neutral ground. No one plays there, right?
I don't know.
I don't think I think
Tottenham?
Tottenham played there while they were building their stadium.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think anybody plays there as a home. We'll check and see on that. But it is the home of English soccer. It's kind of like
It's kind of like hollowed
like if the
ground
Super Bowl was played at the same site every
year. Yeah.
maybe, or like when they play the Hall of Fame game, or
or the Cotton Bowl if you're in
It's the national teams.
the national team play. It's a national team stadium. And they play there.
the
but when
Orange Bowl.
when they had the finals
The
in
Peach Bowl.
the Euros there in England, I think they played the final there when they lost to
The
Italy.
Rose Bowl if you're from California or the West Coast, right?
Yeah, it is a big deal, and
a big
Crawley
deal. All
had
those
never
put
played
together.
there. They've been promoted before.
Yeah.
When they promoted out of League Two into League One and out of the National League into, but they hadn't gone through the playoffs.
Right.
So in the League Two, the top
just-
3 teams are promoted, and which was Stockport, Mansfield, and
Wrexham.
then
Right.
Four-
baby.
4, 5, 6, and 7th place play each other. Well, fourth place played Crawley at 7th, and we talked about that. They dispatched them. And then Crew Alexandra beat Doncaster. Well, they lost at home, and then they went to Doncaster's place. And
Which Doncaster
Won on
was
the
on
aggregate.
a roll. They had
Yeah.
won like 8 games to get to
well,
that
they hadn't
spot,
lost
right?
in 12. They
Yeah.
won 11 in a row, then they drew. So they were on fire, and they go home, and in the first 15 minutes, Crew ties it up and then wins in penalty kicks. So it's Crew and Crawley at Wembley, and this is it is a big deal. These fans wait forever to go and watch their team play at
Like,
Wembley.
Almost as long as the Kansas City Chiefs fans had to wait to get a good team.
Yeah,
Or the Jets fans that still have to wait.
Yeah, they're still waiting.
or the Dolphins fan waiting for them to get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Dan Marino.
It's like, well, I
Took
guess,
them last
yeah.
time.
Yeah, this was for to win 72, 73. Anyway, so yeah, it was a huge game. The whole town, like the game before, last home game when they defeated MK Dons, they had about 4,000 fans there. They
That's
took
pretty
almost 20,000 fans to
To
Wembley.
including you.
Almost. I bought a ticket.
He bought a ticket.
I bought a ticket.
A memorial ticket.
I had to do it. We actually looked at flights. We were, this close from
That's
going.
like 6 feet.
We were,
That's not close at all.
and I felt like it was like imposter syndrome.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
like I haven't been a fan long enough to deserve to go to Wembley.
okay.
So, and I didn't want to. So we looked at flights, and we could have done it. Credit cards are free, right? So
Yeah,
go to-
interest rates aren't rising. That's a great idea.
And really wanted to watch the game. Invited some friends over. Brennan came over. Mm-hmm. Tyler almost came over.
I thought.
He almost came over. He had.
Yeah, but then Sam didn't come over because he's a baby. He's a stupid baby who loves Arsenal and falls just as fast as Arsenal falls. Okay,
dude, harsh.
Grow up, be a man. Show up 5:30 in the morning.
Lose the Premier League on the last
French
day.
toast.
How was the French toast?
It was delicious, by the way. It paired up well with my coffee. Oh, yeah, you did.
I had cinnamon.
That's the secret, isn't it? You put it in the egg wash?
I put cinnamon and a little bit of vanilla extract.
See, that's what it is. No, seriously, delicious. I was like, why didn't I go up for more? Because I left and I was like, nobody else was going to eat them. Like, I could have just ate the whole loaf of bread.
I had the last 2 today.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
It was really good. On the Blackstone. Oh, man. So Crawley goes into Wembley and pretty much just dominates the game.
So Liam Kelly is really a very, very good player for that team.
He's a little maestro, number 10, plays in the middle, all over the place.
He's like the Acosta of that league.
Kinda, yeah. He's littler and he gets by everybody and he's got such good vision on the ball. And then Orsi is just a great finisher.
He scored 5 goals in 2 years at Grimsby, and they got rid of him. Comes over to Crawley, and that was his 25th goal. And that goal was sick.
Outside foot, near post, straight in front, so clean.
Yeah, he fooled the keeper like he was going to take a step because he was on, it would have been a natural left-footed shot, and he just clips it with the outside of his right and just freezes the keeper, and they go up 1-0. And the beauty, one of the things that was lucky about the game was that VAR.
Because they were at Wembley, they could use VAR.
In the final, they have VAR, even though in League 2 and League 1 and the Championship, they don't have VAR. I think.
I thought the Championship did. No?
Maybe they do, or they're getting it next year. But League 2 and League 1 definitely don't have it. And there was a bad pass by another...
Campbell.
Adam Campbell. It was like back pass to no one. It's like, oh. And even the announcers, Gary and I think Tony was like, oh, no.
Yeah. And
no.
That guy Long got a hold of it, dribbled up, and Corey Adai pressed him and
came out.
He tried to go left on him, and he dove, and it looked like Adai got him, and then Adai was like, no, I didn't get him. And VAR saved him.
Yeah, and it was very clear that he wasn't anywhere near him.
No, and he also got the ball, too. So
nice sliding tackle. Yeah, it was.
He got the ball. Even if he was going to touch him, he got the ball. But what was really funny is at the end of the celebration, did you send that to me where Campbell goes, yeah, I kind of liked VAR. Like, because like a picture of him, like, it's like, VAR's not bad.
I like that. I like that VAR.
So they were up 1-0 at half, and then, Crew just didn't really, I don't know, they had too many shots on goal. They couldn't muster it up, and then it was about the 80th minute, and Crawley was looking for that second goal, and Liam Kelly came in and he sent it a crossover to that was defended, trying to get to D'Orsay, and it pops back to him, and near post in, and that was game. Well, except for kind of like the RSL game, 10 minutes of stoppage time.
Oh yeah, that was.
Where did that come from?
Weird.
Strange.
So yeah, and they are still celebrating in Crawley. It's just madness.
Damn.
It would have been quite the experience, because when you go to Wembley too, they assign you bars. Bars? Yeah. If you're on this side of the stadium, your club, you go to these bars. There's like 3 pubs there.
Okay.
You get assigned to a pub. That's your pub.
Okay.
So that
they don't get over.
They don't mix well when it comes to other fans. And
see, over here, they're like, well, I want that Pilsner and that IPA, so I'm going to that bar. But over there, they're like, I'll smash your face if you drink my beer.
Oh, yeah, you don't want anyone.
Yeah, you don't mix the clubs. I mean, it's like here, if you go to, like, Colorado, when we go to Colorado on the 20th of July, I mean, you could sit in the stands and wear your RSL kit and probably be all right, but you cannot do that over there.
There's no way.
You don't mix. Like, you stay in the away section.
There was just a video of an Arsenal guy walking through a Chelsea group, and
an
they were
old
like,
guy, huh?
Yeah, and they were like battering him, like, you get out of here, blah 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 blah, and pushing him. And he's just trying to leave as fast as he can. Yeah, it's ruthless over there.
So and then after the game, there's all kinds of videos. where the players were just at the bar with all the fans, and it was hilarious. They had a day at the stadium yesterday, and they came and they were singing and drunk, and it's just
a merry time.
Merry time, and just ecstatic. I mean, it would be like your team winning the Super Bowl every year. It's just huge, even for these small clubs. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I tell people too is like, I only have 2 clubs. I only have 2 teams. I don't have an NBA team that I'm emotionally attached to anymore, or an NFL team. I mean, I grew up a Dolphin fan, but I don't watch them. So the only 2 clubs that give me any kind of emotion that I get tied into, RSL
He
and
just
Crawley.
snagged that bug out of the air, dude, with his bare hands.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, I got fast hands.
Wow. If you saw that on
You were
video,
a menace in the locker
that was
room, huh?
amazing.
Oh yeah,
It's like
So, yeah,
Danielson with the chopsticks.
It
there.
really is something special when your club gets promoted, and next year in League One. That's
Tough league, though.
Yeah, it's going to be. There's some relatively recent former EPL sides in League One. I think Huddersfield, Birmingham.
Birmingham's over there.
Is
Birmingham
Wayne Rooney
got
still
dropped?
coaching? I know. I think he went to Birmingham, and I think they got rid of him pretty quick. He might be there. So yeah, so it's exciting. A good reason to, besides the grandkids, to get over there next year. And I think if Crawley can keep Scott Lindsay, their head coach, and keep a lot of these players and do another great job in recruiting, I don't think they get relegated next year. I think with the way Crawley plays, their style of play,
It leads to
good possession and leads to great things. They may not compete for the playoff spots, but I could see them adjusting with their style of play and finishing higher than 20th.
We hope so.
Because there's 20. You want to finish 20th or higher, because 21, 22, 23, 24 get relegated. That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing in League 2, 4
teams
go up,
drop.
but in League 1, 4 go down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really exciting, and hopefully you had an opportunity to watch those games. It's still on ESPN Plus, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, that wraps up the show tonight. Anything else?
You don't want to talk about the Premier League and how Man United finished?
How did they finish?
They finished with the most goals against in the history of Man United. 58. They had a negative goal differential of -1. They had the lowest finish in the history of. I just made that one up. I don't know. There's no stat there. I think they had the most losses in a long time too, because they had 14 losses on the season.
What's the standings look like? Oh yeah, we're in eighth.
They ended up 8th. But Arsenal took 2nd and 89 points and goal differential of 62. So here's what's happening, guys. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. The top 3 teams, Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, had goal differentials of 62, 62, and 45. Those are goals more than their opponents scored. And at the very bottom, of course, Sheffield was the worst. They had a -69. They gave up 104 goals on the season. And remember, the season is only 38 games. They had 104 goals scored against them. They only won 3 times. Yeah, and -69. But Burnley and Luton Town, who also got dropped, were only -33 and -37. So the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Even Wolves had a -15. West Ham had a -14. Newcastle had a +23 goal differential and still finished 7th.
I think
Scored all the goals at the wrong times.
the EPL was really boring this year.
It was, and also the
It
fact
wasn't
that
as
there's
exciting as it.
the fact that we're
probably
like
could've been.
praying for some sort of fine or penalty on Man City when all these lesser clubs are getting the same penalty dished out, and now we're rewarding the same team again for another successful season.
Yeah, I
breaking the
wonder
rules.
They'll buy themselves out of it.
Oh yeah, and also
They'll settle or something.
the FIFA is money driven.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's no.
So they're not gonna.
No, there's no way.
No.
And people love to talk about promotion and relegation. It is a lot of fun. If you get promoted, relegation is no fun. But also, it's no fun to watch the same teams. We watched the Bundesliga. They had the same title winner 11 years in a row until this year.
Bayern.
Thank you, Harry Kane. Well, it's actually Tuchel. It's Tuchel.
And EPL has had the same champion for 4 years in a row, and they've cheated quite a bit. But without the anything like what we have in Major League Soccer, a salary cap to make things competitive.
What happens is Barcelona and Real Madrid win the league, and guess who won the league?
Real Madrid.
Guess who took second?
Barcelona.
But the third team, Girona. Girona.
My Girona. So yeah, I think there's
Girona's
positives.
a really cool story there. If you
we could
look at
we
it.
should do a whole episode podcast on promotion, relegation, and Euro snobs, and the whole people in all the fans in the United States that want to burn Major League Soccer down and start over.
Yeah, you'll just end up with the clubs with all the money that they'll win every year. Just like the reason why everybody hated the Lakers, because they win championships all the time, because they just buy the best players.
Is the new offside rule going to be implemented next season?
The new offside rule being which one?
Actually, they're still in talks about it, right?
Yeah, I think they're trying to, and that's the offside rule where
You have to sub out once you're offside.
No, any part of your body that is in line with the defender is meaning you're onside. So if your arm is offside, it's no longer offside.
So it's the opposite where you can't be past the defender and you're offside, but the opposite is your whole body has to be past the defender.
To be offside, yeah.
Oh, your whole body has to be past the defender.
So if your trailing foot is behind the defender,
really?
You're onside even though you're ahead.
It sounds beautiful. Like it sounds like something that should have happened 40 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So as long as some body part is there, they're not offside.
Wow. So if you swing your arm back and poke them in the eye, your finger's in their eye, so
yeah, I think it's like feet,
your
feet and shoulder.
Oh, something you can score with. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So anyway, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. We love talking to the people who listen to our podcast. We run into the games and anywhere else. Subscribe and follow on YouTube and Goals TV. That would do a great job in helping us out.
Goals with a Z.
GOLZ.TV. We are on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you get your podcasts. Like us and rate us and leave us a review.
You don't even have to like us. Go on Reddit, trash us. Just tell us how terrible we are.
We're fine with that too.
I love reading
Publicity is publicity. There's no such thing as bad
publicity. Yeah. So thank you for listening. We love doing this, and we'll see you at the next game.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. Join Brandt, Tyler, and Brennan every week wherever you get your podcasts. Share with your soccer-loving friends, download, subscribe, rate, and follow. You can find them on Twitter at RSL Random Fan and at RSL Random Fan Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach out via email at rslrandomfanpodcast@yahoo.com. Thank you for listening.